Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to the CanUK Podcast, the podcast done by fans for fans of everything nerdy. I am your host, Lord X, and I welcome you to a show that will be more depressing than Brazil losing to Germany today. Joining me on the show this week, as you can tell by that laughter, it's Izzy.
Yippee!
How you doing?
I need like a better intro. I should do the gold dust. But yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been, like over a month, right? Since I've been on the podcast.
Just about, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because the last one I think was early June or late May. So
Yeah,
it's been a while.
pre-E3 show, which was, oh wow, June 7th. Yeah, it has been a
Yeah,
month.
it's
Jesus.
crazy.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been good, man. Been playing a lot of games. Enjoying. It's not really like I could enjoy this summer because I'm working anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm in
So
college or school. But yeah, trying to catch up on some games, playing some new stuff. So
well, before we jump into our main topics here today, maybe since you weren't on for the last show, the E3 recap, let me just ask you this: what were your big takeaways from E3 this year?
oh, that's a good question. I think it was great overall from all the different companies. A lot of people are complaining, as always, but I thought it was a really good showing from everybody. Most surprising, Nintendo, because the Nintendo, I was about to say Direct, but it was like their, what did they call it? Like E3,
Present E3 Digital?
yeah, their digital event, as they called it, was really surprising. It was really entertaining.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought the Robot Chicken skits were classic.
Yep.
I thought how they opened it with Iwata fighting Reggie and then, cutting into the Smash Brothers and Amiibo gameplay. And I thought it was really well produced. The only thing I could think of that could have made it better was maybe instead of having the Legend of Zelda reveal like somewhere in the middle, they could have left that towards the end. Because at the end they had Palutena from Kid Icarus joining the cast of Smash Brothers, and I thought that was... I thought they could have closed better. If they would have left Zelda towards the end, I think...
Well, technically they closed on something else.
Oh, they did? Was it... What was it?
Remember Miyamoto sat down in the chair?
Oh, for the... when they censored the pornographic Starfire.
Just too sexy to look at.
Yeah, but... yeah, I thought it was a really good showing. Microsoft was... from beginning to end, just games, which was great. I thought the presentation was great in terms of pacing, in terms of quality. I was about to say, what's his name from Microsoft?
Phil Spencer?
Phil Spencer. I was about to say Don Matrick. No, we don't want that guy. Phil Spencer did a great job. I liked how he wasn't on... It was weird how they presented themselves. The stage wasn't like really high up. It was more like almost on ground level or a little bit over, and he would like go into the crowd, and it felt more like genuine this time around than last year. It's probably their best press conference that I can remember.
Yeah.
Just from start to finish. Unfortunately, most of those third-party games I'm going to be playing on PS4, but I still commend them for having a great show. And Sony... It was a lot of quality stuff in Uncharted. I'm a huge fan, so that just got me. They could have just showed that, and I would have been happy. But it looked great. The new game that's a spiritual successor to Demon's Souls,
yes,
looks really good, man. It looks really cool. I like how it's more action-based. It doesn't look as slow-paced as like the Demon's Souls or Dark Souls games.
Yep.
But it looks really cool. What's the name of it again? I can't remember. Bloodborne, yeah, that looks great. Little Big Planet 3 was a big surprise for me. I wasn't expecting to see that there, and I'm a big fan of that. I'm looking forward to playing that co-op with my brother. I told my brother, oh, Little Big Planet 3 is coming out. He's like, oh, when's it coming out? So he got all excited about it. So, No Man's Sky looked fantastic, continues to look fantastic. Batman looked amazing. The only really slow portion was when they were trying to show off the graphic novel series, that
Powers.
yeah, powers, and that they could have left that out completely.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. It really didn't need to be there. I thought their pacing out of the three was the worst. Honestly, they had great content, great exclusives, great stuff coming to the console, but their pacing was the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nintendo's was really well produced. They didn't focus on too many games on like one game for too much,
Mm-hmm.
and they sat down with the developers, and it was really cool, really genuine. Microsoft had a really good pace, just wall-to-wall games. Then Sony kind of stumbled, but I still think they all had good presentations. There was a lot of people complaining, like, oh, there's nothing at E3. I'm sick of AAA games. And yeah, it's just, I thought it was really good
Mm-hmm.
overall.
Yep. The best kind then. So yeah, it was a good E3 this year.
But if you want to know, like, the thing that I'm most anticipating is Zelda. I'm not gonna lie, Zelda looked incredible, man.
Oh, it did. It looked beautiful.
When as they say on the Go Nintendo podcast, they don't call him Anuma, they call him Al Newman. Because they're always like struggling with the pronunciation of his name, so just call him Al Newman on here too. But when he did that, the snap of his fingers, and they showed that vast landscape, and then they cut into the footage, it looked gorgeous. I really like how they're mixing Skyward Sword and Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a mix of both. It's not dark like that original tech demo that they showed when they first showed off the Wii U, unfortunately, but I don't mind that much. I know there were some people that they were like, oh, it should be darker. They should go back to the Twilight Princess style. Mm-hmm. I'm completely okay with the new style. I love how it looked, and just when they showed off Link with the bow and arrow, and then like the little physics, like the particles around, like a fire and stuff when he was trying to defeat that enemy, it just looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
It was the biggest thing for me. And probably second would be Uncharted, but like Zelda just blew me away, and I cannot wait to play that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the graphical style, that's what Nintendo really needs to do anyway, because they don't have as powerful as hardware as Sony or Microsoft, so
Yeah.
they need to go this more colorful route, and it looks beautiful, just like how Yoshi's Woolly World looks fantastic.
Oh man, that looks really good. And when I first heard about that game, I thought it was stupid. I'm gonna be honest, because I remember Kirby's Epic Yarn. I never picked it up. It looked interesting, but I'm like, oh, it's another one of those games, Like I just shrugged it off. But now, after seeing the footage, it looks really cool. It looks like Little Big Planet in a way, in terms of the art style with the craft feeling, like it's handcrafted.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Yep. All right, so there's a little bit of another post E3 recap there, but it's time to move on into the main show. And, well, we've got quite the full show, because even though it's the 8th of July, we still need to cover the games of July. And this is probably going to be the last break we get for quite a while, probably until December rolls around.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so without further ado, let's dive straight in here and recap what has come out the past couple of weeks. Or the last week, sorry. First up, on the 1st of July, Child of Light came out on the PlayStation Vita. Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn for the PS3 and the PlayStation Vita. Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition on the PlayStation 4. And Sniper Elite 3 on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. Nice release on the first.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's some quality titles in there.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny that the Vita gets 2 games and the Wii U gets none.
Another one of those weeks.
Yeah. Okay. On the 2nd, Civilization Revolution 2 came out on the iOS, and Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition came out on the 360 Xbox One, free on the Xbox One too, and the Wii U.
Wee. Yeah, I was gonna get it on PS4, but since I got an Xbox One, I got it Games with Gold, so
Mm-hmm.
there's no reason for me to buy it again unless I really, really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably end up buying it eventually. Wait for it to go on sale. Or possibly PlayStation Plus at some point. Alright, so moving on to the third, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite came out on the iOS. That's a weird release for Monster Hunter.
That's really strange because that game you need a really good like control scheme,
Mm-hmm.
especially it's not really Twitch based like a first person shooter, but you need that tactile feedback, especially when you're fighting the enemies. I wouldn't see how this would work on a touch device.
Yeah. Alright, moving onwards. On the 8th, today, the day we're recording, One Piece Unlimited World Red, I'm not sure if red stands for anything there because it's all capital letters, came out on the 3DS, the Wii U, the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation Vita, as well as The Wolf Among Us Episode 5 Cry Wolf on Windows, Mac, and PSN.
I'm like surprised by that One Piece game because I had heard about it a little while ago. I didn't realize it was coming out so soon and on all those consoles.
Mm.
I know it's like some of them it's digital, some of it has like a physical release at GameStop or something.
Yeah.
Like it's weird when it comes to those games, how they get released. But yeah, I think GameStop had the exclusivity of one of the consoles like physical release because I was browsing their website like a few weeks ago. But
Okay.
yeah, I might check it out. I'm gonna ask my buddy because he's a big One Piece fan if he picked it up. And The Wolf Among Us, I'm just waiting for them to release it on disc because I never picked up like the first, second, or any of the episodes. I never bought the season pass or anything, so I just figured I'll just wait till they release it on disc.
Yeah.
And then I'll play through all of them.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a smart idea. I'm actually downloading it right now as we speak. So since this podcast is over, that's most likely what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, I need to get back into The Walking Dead. I've still only played episode 1, so yep.
All right, well, moving onwards on the 9th, we have The Wolf Among Us releasing on Xbox Live Arcade. So moving on to the 10th, we have Quest for Infamy releasing on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and The Wolf Among Us again on iOS. No idea what the Quest for Infamy is.
Me neither. Never heard of it.
Oh well. Moving on to the 19th, we have Freedom Planet out for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Yes, folks, it's that kind of month. No idea what that one is either.
I don't either. I really don't, man. I have no idea.
Alright, well, moving on to the 22nd. Wow, we have Forza Motorsport 5 Racing Game of the Year Edition for the Xbox One, and Oddworld New and Tasty out on the PlayStation 4.
Damn it, I didn't realize Oddworld is coming out this month. I guess that's another one that I'm going to be picking up this month. Because I remember seeing those games back in the day, but I never really got into them.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the original PlayStation. I remember them being associated with the PlayStation brand, and then when the original Xbox came out, it was an Xbox exclusive, that series for a while, so I remember them. I just never played them, so I heard this was a remake of the original game, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll probably check that out. And Forza I already own, so I wouldn't find the need. I think that game's packed with content already, so I don't really need all the extra cars and everything.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, moving on to the 23rd, we have Unrest for Windows, Mac, and Linux. No idea what that one is either. So
Me neither.
move on to the 29th, where we have Firefall releasing on Windows, Lego Ninjago, I think I pronounced that right, Ninjroid.
Didn't-
The fuck, Lego? That's releasing on the 3DS and PlayStation Vita, so quality game right there, I would imagine. And finally, on the 29th, we have probably the big game coming out, The Last of Us Remastered Edition on the PlayStation 4.
And I'll be playing that this month. Finally.
Goddamn time.
Jesus. Finally. I got a buddy of mine. He's like, start it already. Start it already. I'm like, dude, I'm waiting till the end of the month. It's coming out. I already have it paid off. Picking it up when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. With like the Sony headsets just playing through that. I know it's going to creep me out, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I sent him a picture the other day. I was at my grandfather's house. Like, he has like a big backyard, and it's been a while since we cut the grass. And there was like stuff laying all over the place, and I took a picture. I'm like, dude, this looks like The Last of Us. And he texted me back that he was laughing because it did, because there was like a ladder just hanging out there, and supposedly in the game there's a bunch of like random ladders in different places. So I don't know about that, but I'm looking forward to that one.
I'll probably pick it up if it goes on sale at some point because I've already played it. So
yeah.
All right. Well, that does it for the games of July. Like we said at the beginning, it's a very slow month, which is good in one way. For most of us, we're able to save a bit of money this month.
Yeah, it's good. And if you don't buy anything this month, then just pay off the things that come out August through December. Just start paying them off now, because you're definitely going to need to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The JRPGs alone are going to kill you.
Oh, no. NIS got your number, man.
Man, I thought September was going to be easy. I had Destiny. Then, of course, danganronpa gets released in September.
Oh, yeah, the sequel.
Fairy Fencer F gets released 1 week later. And 1 week after that, they're putting out Nocturnal Doctrine.
Damn, NIS seems to release a game almost every month. It's crazy. They have a pretty busy schedule over there.
We'll be talking about them again in the near future.
Yep.
Twice, actually. So, let's dive right into our news stories here, and why don't you kick us off this week?
So the next upcoming title from Gearbox Software, the developers known for the Borderlands series and the travesty that was Aliens Colonial Marines, is Battleborn, which is going to be a MOBA?
What?
What? And it's planned to be released sometime in 2015. I'm digging the art style from what I see here on the Game Informer. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Game Informer. Get out of here. Game Informer cover. It looks pretty cool, the art style. I haven't watched the actual official trailer yet. But it's interesting that they're going this route. You know, picking that that genre of MOBAs, which I don't really know much about, to be honest. I know Dota, but I just know it because that's the MOBA that everybody speaks about. But beyond that, I don't know much. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, same here. I've watched some MOBA gameplay before. I mean, like Dota and League of Legends, but I can't say that those types of games really catch my eye, because they're just weird, and they require quite a bit of skill to play if you want to get into
To me, I guess it's one of those games that it's more about actually playing it than watching it, because like you said, I've seen footage, and it's just boring to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't really interest me.
Yeah,
But that's what they're working on next, which is kind of strange. I'd figured they'd be working on Borderlands 3, but who knows?
Oh, no, well,
Let's see. Oh, I think you got disconnected. Hello? Uh-oh.
oh, there we go.
Yep, you got disconnected for a moment.
No, it was actually my chair rolling over the cord of my headset. So
Oh,
that was...
or maybe it was Randy Pitchford trying to check us up. Don't tell him anything negative about Gearbox. No. I have a clean conscience when I release Aliens Colonial Marines.
Damn, first Reggie Fils and Maine, now Randy Pitchford. Fuck's sakes.
Yeah, they're all coming for us, man. They're all coming for us.
All right, well, let's move on to our next news story, which is a new rumor. Well, do you like remastered versions of games? Because, well, we may be getting another one. The newest rumor on the street is that Beyond Two Souls Director's Cut may be coming to the PlayStation 4.
Woo! I'll definitely buy that again. I'll be honest. I'm actually interested to see if this rumor turns out to be true. What are the actual upgrades? Like, are they going to upgrade the character models like they did with The Last of Us? Mm-hmm. And try to use some of the horsepower of the PlayStation 4? Because I know Quantic Dream was working on that tech demo that they showed a few years ago at E3. That whole wizard tech demo that they showed.
Sorcerer.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm interested to see what it actually is. Are they really remastering it, or are they just porting it over? But I expect to see more of these games coming out, more re-releases, remastered. It's sort of like HD collections.
Yeah.
The previous generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of people who didn't own a PS3 but have a PS4, like our friend Ozzy Legend, to experience these types of games.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they would do like a Quantic Dream bundle, and they would just put in Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls on one disc. Yeah. I think that'd be pretty cool, because I know a lot of people who didn't play those games because they didn't own a PS3, or just because they were really strange games. Strange or unique, either way you want to call them.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool if they did a bundle for that.
Yep. All right. Well, speaking of something that is happening, what's going to happen starting this week?
So, which is funny that we just had the Steam sale. Mm-hmm. So Microsoft is trying to do something similar, and they're holding Ultimate Xbox 360 sale this whole week. And as you guys could hear in the background, it's thundering because the world's about to end because they're putting stuff on sale. But yeah, it's all the biggest titles for the Xbox 360, titles like Gears of War 3, Skyrim, just to name a few. Major Nelson, detailed the list. It's a pretty big list right here. So anything from Gears, Child of Eden, which was actually a really cool game that not a lot of people played. Let's see, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Fallout 3, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero. So there's a bunch of stuff here. Something for every type of gamer. Some shooters, some action games, some fighting games, which is cool. And I'm digging that now the industry is moving into this direction with digital distribution, and the console manufacturers are catching up with Steam pretty much. Sure, it's not completely there yet, but at least they're giving it a go.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, Sony's been excellent lately with like the flash sales, and almost every week there's something discounted really, really steeply.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot, and they'll just drop it on us like, okay, the next 3 days this thing's on sale, and you're like, wait, what? Like, you didn't even tell us ahead of time? But I think that's cool, because it creates a sense of urgency, like, oh, I need to buy this now before it goes out, which is smart. It's smart business,
Yep, that's exactly what Steam does.
Yep. And they're catching up now, so which is cool.
God help our wallets.
Yeah, definitely, because I know what people go through with the Steam sale. They're like, oh, let me buy that, let me buy that, let me buy that, and when you finish, you buy 20 games, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. And they never get played.
Yeah, they just sit in the dreaded backlog.
Yep. I'll give an example on that. I bought Dark Souls again for some reason. No idea why. It was on sale for $5. Hey,
You bought it again?
Yeah.
You didn't have it, or?
I own it on PS3.
Oh, okay. You bought it on PC. Yeah, that's how they get you. You're like, man, this is so cheap. I could just get it because maybe one day I'll play it, and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about games that we will buy, at least I will, and play, because it came out yesterday that NIS has announced 3 more Japanese games making their way to the West. More money to give them. So, yeah, they revealed 3 games which were previously exclusive to Japan, and they'll be localized for North America and Europe. Those games will be The Firefly Diary, which is a puzzle game revolving around 2 fairies who must work in tandem to help the amnesiac Milan recover her lost memories. Amnesia, yeah. Lost memories by shifting the world between light and dark. Interesting. That's coming out on the Vita. Next up, and that's going to be out this fall, apparently. Fuck. Next up,
There goes your money.
Yeah. Next up, slated for 2015 on the PlayStation Vita. More Vita love coming from NIS. It's becoming a Japanese hardware machine now.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's going to be Criminal Girls Invite Only, which is a revamp of the 2010 PSP release with new scenarios, levels, and previously unplayable characters Miu and Himakami. And pictures interesting what IGN has up there. Let's just say that much. And finally, wait, there's more info on Criminal Girls. Find you guiding a group of female delinquents through hell as they attempt to cleanse their sins and redeem themselves. Note that NIS America has edited certain aspects of this game to bring it to Western audiences.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Yeah. Likely some of the racier punishment aspects of the Japanese version. God bless Japan. And lastly, The Awakened Fate Ultimatum, a sequel to the RPG The Guided Fate Paradox, will hit the PlayStation 3 in North America and Europe at some point in 2015. Maybe around February when everything else releases.
Yeah. That's a lot of Japanese games, and that doesn't even include what's coming from other companies.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
From like Bandai Namco.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, wow, we are getting quite a bit of Japanese love coming. Now, yeah, that was horrible.
Japanese loving, yeah.
Alright, well, let's take a note away from the gaming news, and let's talk about some movie news. Starting with one epic piece of news that came out.
This is really, really cool, because I adored the first movie. It was so entertaining, even if it was cheesy, because it was meant to be cheesy. Mm-hmm. But that is Pacific Rim 2 gets a release date.
Yay!
And that is going to be April 7th, 2017, which is very, very far away.
3 years.
That is a long time to wait, but in the meantime, we can check out the animated series, which is supposed to come out sometime in between. I'm interested to see if this is going to be animated in anime style or animated in the American animation style. Yeah. We don't have many details at this point, but it would make sense as an anime, because the movie took a lot from different anime franchises. The whole mecha genre. Mm-hmm. So we'll see, and I'm looking forward to both. It just sucks that we have to wait so long to see this movie.
But at least it's happening.
Yeah, at least it is. Because the first movie is so damn entertaining.
Mm-hmm. It didn't do well over here, but it did do well internationally, which thank Christ it did. To allow. And
I think it did well too. Home video, like Blu-ray and DVD, like it was one of those movies that might have not done that great in the theaters, but you know, it had an audience when it came out on DVD and Blu-ray.
All right, and our last bit of news for this week Yeah, it's a pretty simple one. I was really digging for another movie story, so uh, it's that the Expendables 3 is no longer R-rated. It's going to be PG-13.
I guess they want to, expand their audience pretty much and make as much money as possible in the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last two have been rated R.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. I think the whole purpose of this movie is to be rated R, isn't it? It's supposed to be the crazy action film with all these action stars from the 80s and the 90s.
Yep.
And,
maybe this will get Chuck Norris back.
yeah, maybe, And the other two movies have been really strange. Like, the first one, it was okay.
Mm-hmm. The second one was fantastic.
I really enjoyed the second one, too. I thought it was a step up from the first one just because it was really entertaining. The first one, it felt like they were trying to tell a serious story. Yeah. And that's not the point of these movies. It's just an action movie. And then they had the guy who plays Batista in the Dexter series, like the Spanish guy who plays that character. They had him as the villain, and he had like the worst accent ever. Like he couldn't speak because he doesn't speak Spanish fluently, so it just didn't work. Like the villain didn't work in the movie. It was just terrible. Yep. But I enjoyed the second one, and I saw the trailer for the third one. I'm like, wow, they got all these damn... it's like a Super Smash Brothers of action movie stars, pretty much. But it's strange, though, that it's getting a PG-13 rating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. All right, so not much else to say on that one, so that pretty much wraps it up for our news stories of the week. So it's time to dive into our been playing, been watching, and maybe we've actually been reading something section.
Not me. Not me.
All right, well, let's dive into the been playing section first. I'll run over one of mine fairly quickly, something that I haven't played a great deal of yet. And that's Towerfall Ascension on the PlayStation 4. One of the free games for July, dove into it. It's pretty good. I have to say, it was enjoyable. I've only played the single-player quest mode thing, but I can see that be how it's really fun with 4 players.
Yeah, I bought this when it came out, and I never played it, which was stupid, because now it's on PlayStation Plus for free, and I need to stop doing that. It's funny that Strider's out this month also, and I only played through like half of that game. But yeah, I'll probably do this as a Let's Play with my little brother, since it's, cooperative base. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun to check out, because I heard it doesn't have like online multiplayer. It's just local. Yeah. And really the single player is not where it's at. It's supposedly the co-op. That's what the game's really all about. So we'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What about you?
So I got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, which isn't too bad. It's not going to be like one of those weeks where I go through like 15 things and take 3 hours to dissect everything. But the first one, which I played and I no longer have because I got rid of, is Borderlands 2 on the Vita.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say, it's one of the most disappointing experiences that I've had on the Vita, because when it works, it's really impressive that they fit this massive game onto the Vita. But when it doesn't work, it sucks. And I played up to, I'm trying to remember the name of the boss, but it's fairly early on in the game. Like I played through and did all the side quests in the first area you're in the game, and then you get to this one boss who he like controls the fire on that ship.
Yeah, I don't know when you're talking about.
So I got up to that part, and before that I was enjoying it. There was some, issues, and this really got mixed reviews, so I kept hearing some people praise it, some people say it was terrible, some people in between. So I just went out and bought it just to, try it out, see what I thought. And it worked really well, and for some parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got up to that part, and the frame rate just went to shit. And I said, nope. I couldn't even defeat the boss because the frame rate went to shit. The enemies kept attacking you. I kept dying. I was like, this is not cool.
Wow.
And I ended up trading it into Amazon and got some credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is that I have Borderlands 2 through PlayStation Plus, so I re-downloaded that,
Mm-hmm.
and I transferred my data over to the PS3. So I'm going to try to play it some more on PS3. I tried, but for whatever reason, I actually enjoyed it more on the Vita, like playing it just laying in bed and just getting all the loot and, shooting enemies and stuff. It fit really well on the Vita, and I didn't think that the controls, I know a lot of people were complaining about the touch controls and all. I thought they worked pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really disappointing that they didn't get it to where it should have been. And maybe that's just the limitations of the hardware, that they really could have never got it to run at a steady frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks because it looked great on the Vita from what I played, and then it just got to that point of the frame rate went to shit. I was like, nope, I'm out of here. So
I've heard our fellow Axed Aberjam really praised the game quite a bit on the Vita.
yeah, I was really impressed. I got to be honest at first, and then I just got up to that point where the frame rate went to shit, like I said, and I got rid of it. I was like, I don't want to keep playing it and then this keep happening because it kind of got me dizzy and stuff. And once I get to that point with the game, then it's starting to get me dizzy because of the frame rate and stuff. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to play this. So I think they tried as much as they could. Maybe if they would have had more development time. I know it was Iron Galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
the studio that ported it over. I don't know if Gearbox actually helped, even if their name was on the box.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after Aliens, Colonial Marines, and all. Like, I don't trust that company.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now they're working on Killer Instinct Season 2. Iron Galaxy is. So, please do not mess that up. Or I will go on a rampage. But anyway, I wouldn't recommend you getting it on the Vita since it has those issues. If they were to patch it one day and just fix a frame rate, it'd be fantastic on the Vita, but
yeah,
it didn't work out.
I was planning on waiting for a price drop myself.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets down to about $15, I'll pick it up. Chance.
Yeah, maybe then, just to give it a try, to give it a go.
All right, well, I can talk about a Vita port that was actually really well done, and that's Sly Cooper, the original one.
Oh, yeah. The collection?
Yeah, the collection.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I haven't played 2 or 3 on the Vita yet, but I did play through the first one again, mostly just to get the Platinum Trophy again. But the game worked extremely well on the Vita, like, just fantastic, really. There was no real difference from the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 versions of the game. I mean, the graphics aren't as good as the PS3 remastered one, but they still look great. The game controlled really well. Yeah, like, there was no real dips in the frame rate or anything. Little bit during the cutscenes, I could tell they were a little bit subpar, but other than that, the gameplay is perfect Sly Cooper.
That's really good to hear. The only issue I have with it that I haven't picked it up myself is that some of it's on the card and the other stuff is like on a digital download.
Yeah.
Right, like
the first 2 games are on the card. The third one is a downloadable game.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But I already have it on PS3, you know, and I haven't got into it yet, like played the collection, but yeah, it's good to hear though that it actually works. That it's not like the God of War collection, or we already spoke about that. You know how I feel about that. And
I think this has to probably do with the developer. What's their name?
Sanzaru Games, right?
Yeah, where they
worked
did
on Sly 4.
Yeah, where they worked on Sly 4 for both PS3 and the Vita. They probably knew what they were doing when they ported it over. So yeah, I would recommend Sly Cooper definitely. If you've never played it before, or if you have played it before, fantastic game to play onto the Vita.
I'll probably wait till it goes on sale, like the digital version,
Yeah.
and then purchase it, since it's, not half of it, but a third of it is already digital anyway. I'll just get the whole thing digital,
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it in stores actually anywhere. But that's the issue with Vita in general. Even the consoles, I rarely see them.
Yeah. The EV games that I tend to go to has like a very small section of Vita games.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost smaller than their PC section, which is sad.
Yep.
Oh my. Well, back to you.
But moving on, I've been playing dun 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 some Wii U.
Woo!
That is Mario Kart 8. I've been playing some more of that online with my buddy Cody. And I actually did a Let's Play of that on my YouTube channel, which is really fun. Even if you couldn't hear his voice very well, because the way we play is that I use the Vita Party Chat feature, and then we talk to each other like that, because the Wii U doesn't natively support like a party chat system. And even if we were to go into the chat system in Mario Kart 8, it only lets us talk during the lobby. Like, it doesn't let us talk during the race because Nintendo's retarded. But we worked around that, and I did a Let's Play, and that was the first video I posted because I got an HD PVR. And of course, it got flagged immediately for copyright. But I don't mind because I knew that was going to happen, and I can't run ads on it, but that's because Nintendo's just Nintendo, and that's cool with me. But I'm still really digging it. If you guys have a Wii U or thinking of getting a Wii U, definitely pick up Mario Kart 8 because it's a fantastic game, even if it has those issues in terms of the communication issues. Because online, it actually works flawlessly when you're in races. I haven't been dropped from races. I haven't had any lag, any issues when it comes to that. So I'm going to continue playing that for months to come because I'm still trying to get all the gold stars in the 150cc class. And it's hard as hell. I'm not going to lie. Like, I've almost broken my Pro Controller.
Jesus.
In, the past few weeks because I'm really trying to get all the stars. And to get all 3 gold stars and the gold trophy, you need to get first place in every race. Wow. So if you get second in one race, you're already done. You're not getting the 3 gold. And you can't restart the race either. You have to do them all back to back. And I believe it's like 3 or 4 races back to back. So, but it's a really good game. I love that game, honestly. It's so good.
Yeah, it's probably going to be one of the very first games I pick up when I do buy a Wii U, which I do plan on buying in the very near future, hopefully.
Yep, so back to you to see if you've been playing anything else.
Yes, I have been playing one other thing I will mention, outside of little odds and ends that I've played for like 10, 20 minutes maybe, and that's danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc on the Vita.
Danganronpa.
Which, to Aussie Legend's surprise, because he thought I couldn't do it, I actually finished the game within 5 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I powered through that thing doing a chapter a day, basically, because holy
I heard that game was long, too, isn't it? Isn't it like over 20 hours or something?
Yeah, I would say that's about right.
Damn.
I pretty much, my Vita has been the only gaming system I've turned on for the past week.
Wow.
Because, as soon as I started that game, I was hooked. Because in terms of gameplay, there, I guess, isn't all that much. Not in the main story, at least. You do have the class trials and everything. It's basically Battle Royale meets Ace Attorney. Like that kind of gameplay style, anyway. But yeah, the story is absolutely phenomenal. And if you're weak at hurt, prepare yourself. Because, dear Lord, that game does not hold back, hitting you straight in the feels over and over and over again.
Damn.
Probably the more emotional than the first season of The Walking Dead, to be honest with you.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising. Now I have to play that.
There were
Shit.
moments when stuff happened that I literally just dropped my Vita because I couldn't believe, like, what had just happened, or moments where I did get teared up because, like, holy fuck, that's actually really depressing.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I highly recommend Danganronpa. Such a fun word to say.
I think I might get it next month because since I'm playing The Last of Us and I've heard that's, depressing in itself, I don't want to play two depressing games this month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, there isn't much for me in August. There's like the Metro Redux, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll pick it up next month before the sequel comes out. It's kind of hard to find, too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm going to have to order it online.
It took me a while to find a copy of it.
Mm.
And after I finish the main game, there is an extra game type that opens up too, which has like completely different like gameplay to it. So I've started on that now, and we'll probably talk about in a future podcast because I'm going to work my way on trying to get the Platinum Trophy.
Sweet.
Yep. And that pretty much does it for what I've been playing this week.
So I still got 3 games, but I'm not going to talk about them too much. First one, it was really just because it was going to be fun, something to play on a Let's Play that I did with my little brother, and that's Samba de Amigo on the Wii, which that game is ridiculous.
Okay.
It's really funny, really colorful. Of course, as maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't know, it was originally a Dreamcast title. Came out way back in the day. And they ported it over to the Wii, and out of all people, it was Gearbox who did the port.
Wow.
So, and this is before they did Borderlands, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So the port is pretty decent. It's motion control based, so sometimes it won't really, recognize certain movements, but that's how it is with a lot of Wii games.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still really fun. The soundtrack is full of, crazy Hispanic music, I would say. Like, you got different, like, samba, of course, with Samba de Amigo. You'd have, like, all the different, like, salsa, things like that, like, known songs like Macarena and things like that it has in the game. So it was fun. I just played it because of the Let's Play, and that got flagged for copyright because all the songs. Even if I tried to not play, like, songs that I knew would get flagged, like, there's a Rihanna song in it that my brother tried to click on, or I clicked on. I was like, no, change it. It's going to get flagged, which I actually said in the Let's Play. But it's whatever. I just did it for fun anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend it. It's, I think, really cheap on the Wii. So if you just want some stupid, and not saying the game is stupid, but, like, quirky and funny to play, it's a great party game. And moving on, more Wii stuff. Well, Wii U. I did another Let's Play, and that was for Zombie U. I played I didn't play. My brother played, but I did commentary over it while he was playing. I think about the first 45 minutes. I uploaded it, but I just haven't made it live on the YouTube channel yet. Mm-hmm. And it's a strange game because it's really slow paced. And it's kind of boring. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's one of those games that you have to actually play to be invested in it, but it's just really slow paced. I don't know if I'm going to go back to it, honestly. Maybe I'll restart it one day just by myself, but we played it. We had all the lights out. You had the gamepad. It speaks to you through the gamepad, the other person who's in the game trying to help you. And you have your inventory on the gamepad, and you use the gamepad, you move it around to scan the environment for items. So it has some cool features for the Wii U gamepad, but beyond that, I kind of wasn't really interested in it because it doesn't really grab your attention with the story. It's just like you just dropped in some random guy who you don't know, and if you die, you get brought back as a different character. It was Ubisoft. They said, nope, you're not going to talk bad about Zombie U. We have a Wii U game finished that we won't release. It's Zombie U 2. Surprise. No, but that's going to be a pain in the butt to edit, but
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll move on from Zombie U before Ubisoft drops its call again. And that is my final game that I've been playing, and I'm happy to see that under shameless self-promotion, you listed this game. That is Shovel Knight, which is fucking awesome. Oh my lord. His game is so good. For those of you who don't know, this game is made by Yacht Club Games, I believe is developer. Yep. It was originally a Kickstarter game. It's only out on PC, Wii U, and 3DS right now. Hopefully it comes out on Xbox One, PS4, etc. in the future. Man, is this game good. It's a very Nintendo, as in the original 8-bit Nintendo inspired game. In the vein of a bunch of games. Like, they just took everything from the 8-bit era pretty much and just put it into one game, from Zelda 2 to Mega Man to Castlevania to Super Mario Brothers 3. DuckTales, yeah, with the shovel, exactly. There's so many influences, but it feels really cool and really unique because it's done really well. The gameplay mechanics, it always surprises me. The level design is so fucking good that every level surprises me with some new mechanic, and it's awesome for a game like this to be out there. And I didn't grow up with the Nintendo, the 8-bit Nintendo. I grew up with the Super Nintendo, but I still really, really appreciate those games from that generation and enjoy them. And this is just a love letter to those games. I'm about halfway through because I got one of the, as they call it in the game, feats, which are like the achievement system. And it said I was halfway through, I believe.
Okay.
So I think I am. Maybe it's one of those games that's like, haha, you got to the end, but it's not really the end, like Symphony of the Night. But man, I cannot recommend this game enough. If you have a Wii U, get it. If you have a 3DS, get it. If you have a PC, get it. It's only, I think, $15. It's so good. The music like was stuck in my head for days. I just love how it looks. The graphics are, NES inspired, but it does do things that the NES wasn't capable of, and it doesn't have, all the bad things about the NES. Like, when you played Mega Man, some of the Mega Mans, there would be slowed down if there was too many enemies on a stage or anything. Yeah. But this doesn't really have, and it does some really cool things with the graphic system. Really enjoy it. They said that they would be willing to do sequels that were potentially, 16-bit and 64-bit. That'd be awesome. I would love to see that, but I'm really, really enjoying this game. It's up there in my top 5 games of the year so far. It's so good. I cannot recommend it enough. It's so damn good. And I've been playing it with the Pro Controller and also the gamepad because I try to see how it played on there. I prefer playing with the Pro Controller on the big screen, but it's just so good. It feels so good, man.
Nice.
I think you're going to really enjoy it once you start playing it, if you haven't started playing it yet. But it's fucking awesome. Go buy it right now. Everybody, go buy it. Stop what you're doing and go buy it. It's only $15.
Well worth it.
I've told my friends who have the, like a Wii or a 3DS to buy it already. I'm like, go buy it now. I saw Aussie Legend was like, crying about it. It's not on Vita yet. But, yeah, just pick this up. And if you don't have a Wii U, a 3DS, or a PC, then hopefully, which I think the game's going to be pretty successful on the consoles. It is already. It'll come to PS4 and Vita and PS3, 360, Xbox One. It'd be perfect for the Vita. It'd be so perfect on the Vita. So yeah, that wraps it up for what I've been playing. So a lot of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of Nintendo for you, a lot of Vita for me. Screw everybody else. Great systems.
Yeah, pretty much. We're talking about the systems that everybody hates on, but yeah, good times.
All right, so let's dive into our been watching section, where I've only got a couple of things which I can briefly talk about. Those being, I watched the last season of Archer, called Archer Vice, which was just like the rest, incredibly funny. Just watching them trying to sell cocaine was incredible. And the other thing I got around to watching was I saw Michael Bay's Explosions 4. I mean, Transformers Age of Extinction, which I have to admit was a really enjoyable movie. It was definitely on par with the third one for me.
That's good to hear, because those movies get a lot of crap, but they still make tons of money.
Yeah.
So I'll probably watch it just to see the dino,
Grimlock.
dino bots. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the only reason I would watch it. I'll probably watch it when it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD. I'm sure my dad will pick it up because he enjoys those movies.
Mm-hmm. Yep, quite enjoyable. I would say it was excellent to watch in IMAX. Just incredible that way. And they made some smart decisions in the movie. I will give them that. Some very, very odd choices for the mythos of Transformers, but some nice choices all the same. Mark Wahlberg was a far better lead than Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like Shia, but I don't mind him too much. But
So,
I enjoyed the first movie. Like, I still think that's probably the best one. It was just amazing in terms of the CG effects. And
for me, it's definitely 3. I would say 3, 4, 1, 2.
Yeah, 2 is terrible. Let's talk about. Let's not talk about robots, but it's funny because I was thinking of doing a video about this, especially since the Ninja Turtles movie's coming out pretty soon, and how people complain about Michael Bay, which it's funny. It's a known joke in the nerd community, the whole explosions and everything. But I don't know, like, people forget that the Transformers were created to sell toys.
Yep.
Like, that's the reason they were created. They're talking about, like, the original animated series was the greatest work of art from Shakespeare. Like, it was created to sell toys. And then the Ninja Turtles, they were originally created in their comic form to, like, make fun of things like The Dark Knight Returns. But then they made the cartoon series and they had, like, a lighter tone. Yep. And that's what I grew up on, the cartoon series, not the comics. So now the new movie's coming out, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think it looks that bad. Like, the Ninja Turtles movie, I thought it was going to be absolutely terrible. I saw the latest trailer, and I was like, it's not that bad. I'll probably watch it, to be honest.
Yeah, that latest trailer. I'm sorry, but Mecha Shredder pisses me off.
I'll probably watch it. I don't think it'd be too bad. It's not like I enjoy the live-action Ninja Turtle movies, but they're not masterpieces, let's be honest. Like, they're terrible. They're terrible. What's funny is, like, I think, like, 10, 15 years from now, the same way we feel about those Turtles movies are going to be how people feel about the Transformers movies. Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, I saw this as a kid. I know it's terrible, but I really enjoyed it. So people just need to relax. If it's terrible, it's terrible. Cool. Yep. Don't watch it. I didn't watch it, but I'll probably see the Turtles movie.
Okay. So what have you been watching?
So it's just been wrestling for me pretty much. WWE Network. I've been watching, like, the different specials that they do on a weekly basis. They did do that preview of the Monday Night Wars, which got cut off for me for whatever reason. And it's funny because they don't have it available yet on the network, so it isn't like I could go back and just click on the Monday Night Wars. It was a preview that they were doing, but it was really well produced and really well made. It just showed the history between Vince McMahon and Ted Turner going back to before, WCW was created, and how Vince had WWF on TBS for a short amount of time. And it's just a really good story. It's really well made, really well produced. I'm looking forward to the full series when it comes out, whenever that is, which they haven't said. I've been enjoying Raw a lot lately. I think they've had really well made storylines. It's cool to see all the new talent getting pushed. The guys from The Shield, I think, are great. Seth Rollins has really surprised me because out of all the people in The Shield, he's becoming, like, pretty big. And I always thought out of the group, the best talker was Dean Ambrose. Ever since I saw him, I'm like, okay, this guy knows how to talk. This guy knows how to do a promo.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought just in terms of like the strength and the look was Roman Reigns, but what's really surprised me is Seth Rollins because he's awesome in the ring and he's getting really good at promos too.
Yep.
I thought he was going to be that good at promos, but now that he's gotten the spotlight on him, especially since he's turned heel, it's really good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho just came back, which is fucking awesome. I love Chris Jericho.
And the fact that he's in a feud with Bray Wyatt.
Exactly. That's going to be awesome. Like, it's just going to be really good TV. I really like that swerve. Like, The Miz came out, and then Jericho came out, and then the Wyatts came out. That was great. Because once they said the multimedia former champion, I was like, okay, it's going to be Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Miz comes out, and I'm like, come on, it's The Miz. And then after that, Jericho comes out. So I'm like, oh, yeah, it was Jericho. And then the Wyatts just show up on it anywhere. It was really well scripted, really well written, really well handled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to see. I think WWE's in a good place right now in terms of their stars, and I'm really enjoying the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually like sticking away from, seeing like the insider websites and what everybody's talking about and how the storylines are going to be, who's getting pushed. I'm staying away from that stuff, and it's actually made me enjoy the product a lot more. Because before I would go to, those types of websites, and they'd be like, okay, next week on Raw, this guy's getting pushed, and it spoils it for you. And then you're like, okay, I saw that coming because I read it online.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just enjoying the show as it goes on, and I think it's worked out better for me.
Cool. That's good to hear.
So yeah, I think that's about it, because I think on the last podcast I spoke about the X-Men movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did. Days of Future Past. That's the only thing I've seen in theaters in recent memory. I'll probably go see the new Planet of the Apes movie this week because I really enjoyed the first one. Yeah. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and of course the original films back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been getting great reviews too. I can't wait to see it on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to check that out sometime this weekend.
Mm-hmm. All right, and as for the been reading section, well, yeah, usually nothing here. I did read the final issue of Deadpool vs. Carnage, which was quite fun. Quite the interesting ending to it. Yeah, that's about it. I do have a bunch to read, though, as my last comic shop pickups video did detail.
Yeah, I got stuff to read, and I visited like my local comic shop recently, but I didn't pick anything up because I was like, I already have like 3 or 4 like graphic novels I haven't read. There's no reason for me to buy more.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I get back into it. You know how it goes. Like some months you're like really into it, then other months you're like, okay, I'm not gonna read that this month. I'll wait till next month or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes and goes for me in terms of comics.
All right. Well, with that, then let's dive into our shameless self-promotion section. Where, why don't you start this one off?
So yeah, it's just, I guess, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IsraelPacheco89. I do the open tag videos on there, which I haven't done in weeks. I was supposed to do one today, but my brother kept screaming while he was playing Call of Duty, which was driving me nuts. I had to restart the recording like 3 times. By the end, I was like, I'm not doing this. So, which it was going to be a good topic. It was going to be on my favorite gaming podcast, and I was going to shout out, Epic Battle Cry, and now that they're on YouTube, and send everybody over there so they could welcome them to the YouTube gaming community. Mm-hmm. But that didn't work out. I'll probably still do that as my topic next week. And I've been doing, as I mentioned earlier, some Let's Play videos. I just brand them as Izzy Plays, and some of them are with my little brother. It'll say it in the title, like with little bro, if I'm playing it with him, or if it's just by myself, it'll just say Izzy Plays, and then the name of the game and the console that it's on. Mm-hmm. And I've been really digging it because I picked up an HD PVR, nice, as I also mentioned earlier. And man, the quality that comes out of it, it's really impressive. Mm-hmm. And it actually works on my computer because my computer didn't meet the specs that it had on the box because it's an older laptop, but it still ran great and it works great. And the mic that it included was actually pretty good too. Mm-hmm. So I could do the commentary while I'm playing the games instead of doing it, later on after recording the footage and then doing commentary over the footage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really useful, and I've been digging doing that, even if the file size is massive and it takes forever to upload to YouTube, which I normally will do overnight. So like while I'm sleeping, it's uploading to YouTube and it'll be ready to go in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been really digging that. It's been working out real well, even if the samba video had some audio issues at the beginning. Like I didn't notice because I didn't plug in my headsets just to check the video to see how the audio turned out. And there was like this like zzz in the background for whatever reason, which was at the beginning of the video. And then somewhere towards the end, it just goes away. So I don't know if maybe my mic wasn't plugged in properly or the HDMI or something. I really don't know what it was. But the next video, I'll definitely make sure that it doesn't have those audio issues, because the Zombie U one didn't have any audio issues, so I figured the Samba one would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Check me out on YouTube. Check me out on or follow me on Twitter at IsraelPacheco89 if you guys want to play some games. That's my name on all the consoles pretty much. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Cool. For myself, unfortunately, I haven't been able to do as many gaming videos as I would have liked over the past couple of weeks, just simply because work has been a real pain in the ass, working like 48 hours a week lately.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't got as much gaming content up as I would have liked, but I have managed to get quite a few vlogs up, comic book shop pickups every week, Loot Crate unboxings, and my pickups videos of the week. So hopefully in the coming weeks I will be able to get Ride to Hell finished up, finally, and out of my life forever. And
terrible sex scenes.
Yeah, hopefully, well, I can get rid of that very soon. Oh, Christ, I hope so. But I do hope to get some more gaming videos in, which I will have some gaming videos going up next week. I am going on vacation next week, unfortunately, so not like I'll be able to record anything next week, but I will be prepared and have stuff uploaded and ready to unlock for you all, which I did put up a teaser for yesterday, I believe, on the 7th. And as Izzy talked about earlier, yes, it's going to be Shovel Knight. I will be playing through next week. I have played the first level. I've gotten recorded so far. And
awesome.
yeah, quite enjoyed it. And you'll see for yourself next week when I release the videos. It will probably be 3 or I'm hoping 4 videos I will have up for next week. So yeah, that's about it. And you can expect one more comic book shop pickups video this week, I hope. Depends on if the comics get in on Thursday or Friday. But yeah, that's about it for me for shameless self-promotion. And that leaves us with questions and comments, guys. If you do have questions and comments, please leave them below. Nothing last week, but I can't fault you for that because the video with me and Ledge talking about E3 was like nearly 3 hours long.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't even notice it went up. Like it didn't show up on my feed.
2 hours, 24 minutes.
Wow.
There was a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, if you have questions and comments, guys, please leave them down below for us, or hit us up on the Twitter.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you for watching, and Izzy, please do the honors and get us the hell out of here.
So appreciate you guys for listening, watching, digesting, consuming the show. It's been a while since we've done one, so I hope you enjoy this one. Hopefully we do some more soon. Definitely let us know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on the games of June? Are you going to be picking anything up this month? Or are you going to be passing on some games? Looking forward to anything in August, September, and the holiday rush. And yeah, that's it for this week. So for Lord X, I am Izzy, and we'll catch you next week, or the week after, or the week after that. All right, guys. Peace.
Danganronpa.
Izzy's Wrestling Corner. Yeah, that Golda story I was telling you about, it was so random, man. Like, I'm just walking around the aisles, like organizing everything, making sure the department looks good. And I look over, I'm like, oh shit, it's Goldust. And I see him down the aisle, and he's on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognize him like immediately. And then I was like, oh man, I don't want to bother him. He's on his phone. I don't want to be rude or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, as I'm going down the aisle, he comes through the other aisle. He's like, hey, could you get me a fishing license? You guys got that here? And I'm like, I started barking out. I'm like, yeah, sure, right over here. And I'm like, hey, you're Goldust, right? And he's like, shh. Because he didn't want to be, like, recognized or anything, because, of course, he wasn't in the makeup or anything. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I got him the fishing license. He was talking about how he just moved from Gainesville. He was asking us about how there was this thief at Walmart that was stealing people's, purses and stuff, and if they catched him and all, like all down-to-earth type of stuff. And then he just moved here, and his dad, Dusty, wouldn't let him get off the phone. He needs to do shopping. It was so cool. And what's funny is, like hours later after he leaves, because I didn't mention anything to my coworker, right? Because he said, shh, I didn't want to blow his cover. I just, wanted to treat him like a normal person. Mm-hmm. So I tell my coworker, I'm like, hey, that guy that was here earlier was a wrestler, right? He's like, who? I'm like, yeah, the tall guy who got a fishing license. And he's like, which wrestler was it? And I was like, it's Goldust. He's like, get the fuck out of here. And I didn't know, like, I've worked with my coworker for a while, and I didn't know he used to watch wrestling, like, back in the day, of course, in the 90s, the Attitude Era, all that shit. Yeah. So he's like, what? I grew up on Goldust, that freaky motherfucker. I always thought he was gay. I never got his action figure and all this. He's like, man, I'm from a small town. He started going off like, I've never met anybody famous, and we were just talking to a dude all casual. I didn't even know it was fucking Goldust. Like, he was he was going nuts, man. It was so funny. And I didn't mention it because I didn't want to be like, oh, hey, this is Goldust. I didn't want to be that guy, like, when he was there. So it was funny as hell. It was really, really fucking funny. And he was mad. He's like, man, I would have got his autograph or something. So he was mad. It was pretty funny. And then, like, a few weeks later, I meet Billy Gunn. Like, at Walmart in electronics. And this story's kind of funny because I'm, like, at the movie sections, like, turning, like, a corner, right? Mm-hmm. And I know this lady's, like, turning as I'm turning. Yeah. And I almost run into her by mistake, and I'm like, oh, excuse me, ma'am, sorry. And then she looks at me, she's like, did you say excuse me, or excuse you? I'm like, no, I said excuse me, ma'am. And that was Billy Gunn's wife. She's like right behind her. And I'm like, oh, hey, Billy Gunn. And I shook his hand. He gave me like the fucking firmest like handshake that I've ever had in my life. I thought he was going to like crush my hands, but he smiled. He's like, hey, how you doing? So it was so fucking random. Like, and that was his wife. I almost ran into Billy Gunn's wife. That's fucking terrible. So, and then, like, another wrestler from NXT, like the Tyler Breeze guy that looks like Dolph Ziggler, that he does that whole gimmick where he holds up his phone and shit. Mm-hmm. I saw him too, but I didn't go up to him or anything because he was just passing by quick, like, one morning. Like, I was like, hey, that guy looks familiar. And then I looked him up on, like, my phone. I was like, oh, yeah, it was the guy from NXT. So it's just randomly see these fucking wrestlers at Walmart. So random, man. That's so fucking funny. I've seen 4. The first one was, like, remember the Bill DeMott story that I told you, like, a long time. Fucking Goldust and Billy Gunn and Tyler Breeze. Like, so fucking random. Jesus. It was fucking crazy. I still can't believe I almost ran into Billy Gunn's wife. And then I went, and since I moved departments to electronics, I went to, like, sporting goods and told my friend about it a few days later. He's like, dude, I met another wrestler. He's like, who? And I'm like, Billy Gunn. He's like, what? For real? From DX? And we started talking about it. I'm like, yeah, man, the guy was really big. I almost ran into his wife. I told him the whole story. He gave me, like, a firm, fucking, he was about to crush my hand. Like, he had a big-ass fucking hands, man. Like, the dude is big. Mm-hmm. Even at his age, he's, like, in really good shape. So,
yeah, he looked it anyway on TV there not too long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's so random. Like, I don't know. It's really weird because, like, I was doing the fishing license, and for that, like, you have to, like, he has to give me his ID. So I'm like, I'm holding Goldust's ID and it says his name on there, like Dustin Reynolds Rose. Like it's so weird. Like, you know what I mean? It's so fucking weird, man. I was like, what the fuck?